What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm back today to give you a review of the Ronnie Fieg Asics Gel-Lyte III 07 Remastered in the super yellow colorway. Today's video is sponsored by Heflux. When it comes to sneakers, comfort is king. So when you buy a pair of shoes and find out they're uncomfortable, one of the easiest ways to fix that is to swap out the insoles. So that's where Heflux comes into play. If you check out their website, which I've linked down below in the description box, you'll see they sell a variety of eTPU insoles, which really is the same material you'll find inside Adidas Boost. So if you guys are curious to try a pair for yourself, be sure to use the code SEANGO at checkout and take 15% off your entire purchase, and be sure to tell them I sent you. So this right here is Ronnie Fieg and Asics' 100th collaborative shoe. Releasing back on February 27th, this sneaker commemorates Kith opening their second location in Miami. And unlike the super orange pair, which I reviewed on my channel not too long ago, it seems like these were a lot easier to obtain, and a lot of people I know, myself included, got early access on the Kith app to buy these before the actual release. So these retailed for a price of $195 US, and after shipping and conversion to Canadian dollars, it ended up being around 300 Canadian dollars before duties and taxes. And while the nickname of the shoe is super yellow, the actual colorway of the shoe according to the box is wild dove and blazing yellow. So just like the super orange pair, this Gel-Lyte III is recrafted or remastered, giving it the look of the Gel-Lyte III as it was back in 2007, which was the year that marked the very first collaboration between Ronnie Fieg and Asics. So over the years, the Gel-Lyte III has sort of morphed in its shape, but with these remastered series releases, we're bringing it back to 07, which gives the shoe more of that classic beefier Gel-Lyte III look. So diving into the details of this shoe, on the toe box, this is covered in this perforated nubuck and is done in this gray colored shade. Surrounding the front toe cap, we have more nubuck, but this is a little bit darker in tone, and on the lateral side we have these two cutouts, revealing a dark gray reflective 3M layer underneath. And if you look at the toe box on this Gel-Lyte III, it has this beautiful, slightly tapered look to it, which I personally find looks beautiful. Moving downwards, you can see we have more of that gray nubuck covering the eyelets, and the middle two eyelets are covered in this TPU layer. Underneath this on the mid panel, we have more of that perforated nubuck like we saw on the toe box, and overlaid on top of this, we have the signature Asics stripes, which is constructed out of a yellow colored synthetic leather with a backing of reflective 3M underneath. And in the middle of this, we have this TPU netting as well. Moving further down, so you can see we have more of that dark gray nubuck, which wraps around the bottom of the heel, and debossed on the lateral side only, we have Gel-Lyte III branding. Above this in the middle, we have more of that TPU netting, and we have a reflective 3M layer underneath this with gel branding in yellow. And the top of the heel is covered in more nubuck, and pressed across we have Asics branding in yellow as well. Surrounding the bottom of the heel, we have this dark gray colored TPU heel clip, which gives you added structure and support for the back end of the shoe. And then as we turn our attention back to the front, so in terms of the laces, these come with 3 different lace options. To me, when I think of Ronnie Fieg and Asics, my mind automatically goes to rope laces, so that's the lace that I personally prefer for this release. So you can see the rope laces here are done in a mix of darker gray and lighter gray, but if you're not a fan of rope laces, they also give you a secondary gray flat lace along with a third white colored flat lace as well. Underneath this, so this being a Gel-Lyte III, we have that signature split tongue, which is constructed out of a gray colored nylon. And embroidered on the lateral side of the tongue, you can see here we have Ronnie Fieg's surname. So the interior of the shoe is lined in a gray colored textile, and generally speaking, the tongue and the inner collar of the shoe is decently well padded. As far as the insoles go, so these come with a foam lined insole. It's covered in a gray colored textile on top, and we have Asics and Kith co-branding stamped on the heel in yellow. If you take away the insoles, underneath you'll also see that these Gel-Lyte IIIs are board lasted, which is a nice added touch. So the upper of the Gel-Lyte III sits atop this full-length EVA foam midsole, which is entirely painted in white. On the lateral side, we have Asics branding in dark gray, and incorporated within the midsole but not visible to the eye, there is Asics gel technology, which helps with impact protection and shock absorption. Finally, turning this pair over to the bottom, so this is your classic Gel-Lyte III outsole, and in this case, it's constructed entirely out of a gray colored rubber. And in the middle, you can see we have the Asics wordmark as well. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about sizing, so my feet measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, meaning when I step on a Brandick device at a shoe store, my foot is actually a size 10 in between a D and an E width. So just like the super orange pair, I got these true to size in a size 10. And I know a lot of you watching this might think I'm crazy, but after wearing that super orange pair for a couple days, I found that the shoe really broke in nicely and it fit a lot better over time and with wear. So my main issue with these remastered Gel-Lyte 3s is that I find it really difficult to close up the tongue. So straight out of the box when I try them on, there's a visible gap where the tongue closes up, but as far as the actual length and the width of the shoe goes, I thought it was perfectly fine true to size. So getting these in a size 10, there's about a finger's width between the edge of the shoe and the top of my toe, which I think is perfect, and I didn't feel any pinching around this toe box area at all. The biggest issue I have is the shallow midfoot area, which again makes it difficult to close up the tongue. And trying these in a 10.5, which is a half size up, I still had the same issue of having difficulty closing up the tongue, and meanwhile, the length of the shoe was way too long and it felt very sloppy. So long story short, I personally go true to size for this pair, but I can understand if you prefer going a half size up. I just prefer more that snug one-to-one fit, and I just realized whether it's true to size or half size up, I'm still gonna have that issue with the gap in the tongue. So with that being said, I prefer to stick with the size that gives me the overall better fit. Moving on to the comfort, so the Gel-Lyte 3 in my opinion is a pretty good shoe for casual use. This foam midsole feels pretty decently soft, but because of the inclusion of gel technology, it's not going to feel mushy and overly soft. It's still going to have some responsiveness and bounce back to it. So because of that, I found this is a great shoe just for walking around, assuming you can find the correct size for your feet. Obviously, this tight midfoot area does cause some discomfort for this shoe, but like I mentioned before, you really have to wear this in, break it in a bit, and by the end of the second day, after I wore these for probably like 16 hours, I pretty much stopped noticing the tight midfoot area of the shoe. But again, everyone's foot is a little bit different, so if you have a really high instep, for example, then this probably won't be the best shoe for you. Finally, in terms of the overall quality and craftsmanship, so first off, material quality, I thought it was very nice. The nubucks that they use on this shoe felt very soft, very buttery, and even though nubuck technically isn't suede, in many ways it has that similar suede-like feel to it. So while I was very happy with the material quality, I thought the craftsmanship on this shoe could have been better. There's definitely some quality control issues on this pair, just like the super orange colorway. So for example, I have some glue stains where the midsole meets the upper, and I had a small blemish on the toe box of one of my shoes as well. And when I was checking out the Kith subreddit, I saw some other people commenting about how their pairs had bad QC as well. So this is kind of disappointing considering this high price point of this shoe. And since it's supposed to be a remastered Gel-Lyte 3, it's kind of a shame they couldn't be a little bit more careful with the quality control, considering this release is sort of a big deal being the 100th collaboration between Fieg and Asics. So with all that out of the way now, let's toss these on feet. I'll lace them up and I'll show you guys how these look. Objectively speaking, this shoe is just okay. From a colorway perspective, I think it's decent. It's nothing that I'd say that is super amazing, but I would say that it's a nice looking colorway. I really love the pop of the yellow and how it contrasts so well compared to the gray on the upper, but as far as the Kith collaboration goes, I kind of feel a little bit underwhelmed. Between this one and the super orange pair, I definitely got to give the edge to the orange pair. I just think that contrast of the tan with the orange works a little bit better, and it's a shoe I can see myself wearing a bit more compared to this one. Still, this shoe definitely has a place and time in my rotation, but if you're asking me is this an absolute must cop and a must keep for the collection, I'd kind of be on the fence. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this Ronnie Fieg and Asics Gel-Lyte 3 in this super yellow colorway. What are your overall thoughts on the colorway of this shoe? And for anyone watching, did you also pick up a pair of these? Did you pass? Did you take an L? Either way, drop a comment down below. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, follow my Twitter account at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.